Happy Thanksgiving weekend and happy unofficial start to the holiday season to one and all within the sound of our voices. Your wallets are probably a lot bit lighter, but I know you guys aren't if you ate the way that Johnny Lyons and I did. And what a weekend or extended weekend of football it was. My gosh, Joe Burrow is back in the chat. The Dallas Cowboys, are they for real? What the hell is wrong with Philadelphia? The Bears are the number one seed. And now the Patriots can be the NFL's overall number one seed with a win on Monday Night Football against the Giants. Drake May can retake the MVP lead. The Colts are in free fall. The Texans are on the rise. The Steelers are done. Buffalo's hanging in. And who the hell are the Jags? And what the hell was Lane Kiffin thinking? All these questions and so many more on a nice little Monday Night Football primer with John Lyons and Nick Fitzy Stevens here on Six Rings. Ho, we go.
Hey, whatever it takes, man. It's all about winning, all right? Winning on three. 1, 2, 3, win!
Celebrating the heroes of Foxborough's past.
And with a good block. Look at Grover. All the way. Watch the block of number 73, John Hanna.
The champions of the dynastic era.
Adam Vinatieri booms a 48-yard field goal, and the Patriots are Super Bowl champions.
The Patriots of tomorrow.
We're going to remove entitlement from our football team. We're going to earn the right to be here every single day.
And the fans whose faith never wavers. This is Six Rings and Football Things.
He's a hoe, and I want that known. Like, I see why he got punched in the nuts, because that's some, like, he says some things that you should not say to another man ever, but, like, I don't respect it because you say that, then run behind your O-line. That's some real soft shit, and I want that known. I see exactly why they punched the nuts. I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
And Merry Christmas to everybody. That is Browns defensive tackle Shelby Harris after today's 26-7 win by the San Francisco 49ers over the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders unable to propel the Browns to greater heights in his second start in the National Football League. More importantly, that was my favorite bite of the day, and I really think it just rings in the season appropriately, John Lyons. He's not happy with Juwan Jennings, who, of course, I believe the name of the gentleman from the Carolina Panthers, Trevon Moehrig, the man who on Monday Night Football tried to punch him in the twig and berries, actually successfully punched him in the twig and berries. Apparently he's not a terrific guy, but you know what? We got a couple of terrific guys here that are ready to talk some football with you and get you ready for Monday Night Football, Giants at Patriots, and go over a crazy, it's not even really a weekend. It's almost like a week because it started Thursday, John, at 1:00 with a very entertaining Packers-Lions game, straight through a super entertaining, very compelling Chiefs at Cowboys game. And there's AFC implications in that one. And then I think all Patriots fans can probably breathe a sigh of relief, or collectively did, after they realized that if Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow had played the previous Sunday, that game may have been a whole lot closer. The AFC is just crazy. The NFC is wide open. Happy holidays, Johnny. What are your opening thoughts as we get into week 13 and what the Patriots are looking at for Monday Night Football?
Yeah, opening thoughts for me, Fitzy. I think this game Monday night, look, it's a game the Patriots should win. I think it's going to be tougher than a lot of people think, especially early on in the game. And I think this is a great opportunity for the Patriots to separate themselves from the pack a little bit, right? Buffalo did just win, but they're 8-4. If the Patriots can win on Monday night and go to 11-2, then they can absorb a loss or two down the stretch and still potentially get the 1 seed. Obviously, we have Sunday Night Football, Denver and Washington. That's still pending. We'll see how that goes. But, I mean, really, you get beyond New England and Denver, Jacksonville's 8-4. They're the 3 seed, so you're two full games up on them. And the 4 seed Baltimore Ravens are 6-6. So they have an opportunity here to create a little distance, maybe not so much between them and Denver, but between them and the rest of the pack heading into this stretch run.
Our friend Jake Smith, who's currently watching, new dad Jake Smith, no less, who's currently watching us on Facebook as we record on a Sunday night here on Six Rings and Football Things. Bears-Pats Super Bowl 40-year anniversary. John, the idea that it would be December 1st, and whether, outcome obviously of Broncos Commanders, go Commanders, hail to the Commanders. It used to be something different. I liked it better that way, but that's fine. We're rooting for the Commanders tonight. We're all Commanders fans. But that being said, the idea that a Super Bowl 20 rematch would be an analytical possibility, given that the Bears are now the number 1 seed in the NFL. The Bears, with what was described as, I watched it from, I watched the second half from a pub after doing some Christmas shopping on Friday with the family, and I was like blown away by how physical the Bears were, and that they and the Patriots, like we were talking about recently, like, oh, Rams Patriots got to do third time's the charm. This one really counts. That would be on the table is wild beyond my boldest comprehension. But then again, good, better, best, till the good gets better and the better gets best. What do you think about what's going on with the Bears?
Remember the big debate in the offseason was, do you want to hire Mike Vrabel or Ben Johnson? Turns out both sides look like they were right. So both guys are doing really, really well. And I think you've seen too, we talked about this a little bit last year, Fitzy. The Bears had some real pieces there, and it just felt like everything went off the rails last year, but they got a legit coaching staff in. Caleb Williams has gotten better, and now they've kind of put things together. And it also helps them that the NFC has been all over the place. I mean, remember earlier this year, Tampa Bay looked like a Super Bowl contender. Now they've kind of fallen off a little bit. They've been up and down. The 49ers have been all over the place. The Rams have been dominant pretty much all year, but they did lose to Carolina today. And then that Eagles team, look, Fitzy, I don't know about you. I think this is the first time since they drafted Jalen Carter that they got flat out pushed around up front. And credit to the Bears offensive line. Yeah, credit to them. They pushed the Eagles around in Philly, made Santa and the Grinch leave that stadium early. I mean, that was a really impressive display by the Chicago Bears on Friday.
Okay, a couple of great comments here. I love going live on a Sunday night, by the way. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast late on the Sunday night, or we're happy to keep you company on your commute Monday morning. A chilly one before the freezing rain that comes in on Tuesday. Forecast for Patriots, Giants, of course, on Monday night. It's going to be a chilly one, so bundle up, mofos, and grab those hand warmers. Joe Coach of the Third chimes in with Ben Johnson versus Mike Vrabel would be fun. X's and O's versus culture and Joe's. I honestly gotta give Ben Johnson his due, because guys like, Rich Keefe and Adam Jones wanted new coordinators, new blood, new offense. They would have preferred somebody like Ben Johnson, and people scoffed at the notion early on because the Bears didn't look very good. Meanwhile, now you got him ripping his shirt off in the locker room, that team pushing other teams around. Caleb Williams finally looking like someone who has the ability to toggle back and forth between dynamite quarterback and game manager as well. And the thing they did in the offseason that, I continue to be most impressed with, and it's what Mike Vrabel did as well. You build a football team from the inside out. First thing Ben Johnson did, he rebuilt that offensive line. He got into those trenches and got Joe Tooney. I think they signed Dahl. Didn't they get Dahl?
Darnell Wright has been playing really well for them. That was a high draft pick too. That kind of been all over the place. Yeah,
exactly. I thought that was really, really, really smart of them. Yes, I agree with you, Mark Staples. Thanks for watching live on Facebook as we record Six Rings. Just need to avoid a Monday night stinker against the G-men. Yeah, you cannot afford to have a letdown game, a trap game, however you choose to phrase it. But this guy, Jimmy Who, on the X, I'm kind of over calling it Twitter. I think it's just easier to say X. Come on, boys. Do you really feel the Patriots are a playoff team, a Super Bowl team? I mean, they're a playoff team because
they're literally a playoff team.
They're almost actually in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they have a 2-game lead on Buffalo, 2.25 game lead, 2.5 game lead on Buffalo. Should they win Monday night, you can only beat who's in front of you. They've done their job and they've gone on the road and beaten a couple of teams everybody said was better than them. So what about that says, oh, I have doubt in them being a playoff team, Johnny?
Yeah, and I think the Super Bowl question is more fair because there's a lot of guys, and I talked about this on EEI over the weekend with your colleague Dan Ball. There's a lot of guys on this team that are young players that haven't been in the playoffs before, that are even Drake May. I mean, he could win the MVP this year, but he's never started a playoff game before, right? A lot of these guys, even the quote-unquote veterans on the team, Christian Gonzalez, Kayshon Boutte, Demario Douglas, those three guys are only in their third year. And so there's just a lot of young guys here. And they run into something in the playoffs and stumble. That's different. Like, are they a legit good team? Yes. Are they a legit playoff team? Yes. I think the Super Bowl thing, if you want to tell me, hey, wait for that second Buffalo game, wait for the Baltimore game, see how they look there, I get that I understand.
But see, here's the thing. Like everything that we believe in, everything that we hold dear, everything that we have come to value and respect as football fans has either been called into question or at least been fiddled with, dare I say, this year. Like Joe Burrow had no business coming back into that game Thursday night. And, granted, the Ravens shot themselves in the junk on the way to the foot time and again in that game as well. Isaiah likely needs to go to the Derrick Henry Academy of Football Maintenance and be shown multiple videos on what not to do when you cross the goal line. So Baltimore is as guilty of losing that game as the Bengals were of winning it. But like, what a difference an elite quarterback makes. You could just see the level of competition and effort by the entire Bengals squad rose up by having Joe Burrow come back in. And I think now, John, maybe this is the week. Let me ask you, Professor, is this the week that we can finally stop listening to until the Chiefs are dead and buried, until that dynasty over, until Chiefs kingdom crumbles, then you have to consider them a Super Bowl favorite. Yeah, well, they went to Dallas on Thanksgiving Day as a 4.5-point favorite and lost. Like, I think I'm over it at this point.
Yeah, Super Bowl team, no, but a team that could go to Gillette Stadium and maybe win a playoff game, I think that's still on the table with the Chiefs. And I know that sounds great, but just look, in a one-game scenario, if they get there, and it's Mahomes and Andy Reid versus May and Vrabel, like that, all of a sudden, Chris Jones versus the offensive line, like all of a sudden, that's an interesting matchup. I would pick the Patriots in that game. I'm just saying, I'm not going to count out the Chiefs until they're actually out of it. I mean, what the Chiefs are going through now, Fitzy, reminds me so much of the 2009 Patriots. Kind of a transition, not as dominant. You still have the big dogs. And look, we'll see. Because what did that 2010 Patriots have? Well, in 2008, 9, 10, 11, and 12, they had great drafts. So they totally reloaded, and then they went back to winning Super Bowls. Remains to be seen if the Chiefs will do that. But it feels like that's kind of the place they're in. Like, this could be Kelsey's last year. They're still searching for that other receiver. Joe Tooney just left there as well. Like, defensively, how much longer is Chris Jones actually going to be there? Like, so again, they have some really good people. This feels like 2009. And don't forget, the 2009 Patriots, they got smoked in the playoffs, but they still made the playoffs.
I know. I can still see Ray Rice busting up.
Oh, I was at that game.
You
sitting
were?
in the end zone. I was sitting in the end zone, and he ran right at me for 85 yards to start that game. And I was like, oh, no. And then Brady got strip sacked right in front of me. And I was like,
oh, God, that was one of the most miserable watches. I might have gotten 50 text messages by halftime. Is this the end of the Patriots dynasty? Actually, you know what it was? That was the official closing of the book on chapter 1 of the 2 of the double dynastic run. And then in 2010, you draft Gronk, you draft Hernando. Everything turns around. Brady grows his long hair. He does the uncomfortable dance at Carnival in Brazil.
Too.
Devin McCourty comes to town over Des Bryant. And next thing you know, we have a new dynasty in bloom that would finally cement itself 4 years later amid controversy in Arizona. Here's a good one. Andrew Dickinson watching live, I think across the pond. Dolphins are 1 game behind the Chiefs. Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins didn't necessarily have
2 games out of their division lead, too.
And I'm going to tell you straight up, the only way Cincinnati makes the postseason is if they somehow win the dumpster fire that is the NFC North, which last year and years prior was so much more competitive. I'll be rooting for them to do that because I would love an 8-9 or 9-8 Joe Burrow with that garbage defense, but that incredible offense and that psycho mentality of his to make the playoffs and then just throw up a big middle finger to everybody else. Save for the Patriots, of course, that wins like 12, 13, 14 games. Like that dude can go, that kind of attitude, that kind of offense, that kind of swag, it travels. I don't know what to make of Buffalo, Johnny. I really don't. The Jags, it seems like more often than not, they want to be a better team than everyone believed in. And the Texans going on the road against Freddie Fibia and Daniel Jones, and now a Colts team that has suddenly lost 3 of 4. Like, tell me if I'm nuts. I mean, you're already sort of like, push back against the Chiefs idea. Much respect. Would you be shocked if the Colts didn't make the playoffs?
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I would be surprised. I don't know if I'd be totally shocked. And it's an interesting few teams you line up because I think the Bills win today. It was an impressive win, but that was more about, I don't think Pittsburgh is that good, to be honest with you. I mean,
No.
they beat the Patriots, but the Patriots turned the ball over 5 times. They
Right.
beat the Colts in a very similar type of game. Like, and again, I'm not excusing those teams for turning the ball over left and right, but like that's not going to happen again. Like, if they played the Patriots in the playoffs, Patriots are going to turn the ball over 5 times. Same thing with the Colts. And I think we saw that today, that they, unless DK Metcalf has a huge game, Steelers really can't move the ball that well on offense. And I think, the Houston Indy thing is really interesting because Houston's defense, you can make the case, is the best in the NFL. And Indy's got Jonathan Taylor. They have we'll see what's up with Sauce Gardner and that injury now. But
Right.
those are 2 teams that, if you're the Patriots and you're in a playoff game, I don't know which one you'd rather face. Like, I think I'd rather face the Colts than the Texans because I think that defense could travel. And obviously, Nico Collins is a beast. We'll see what the situation is with the rest of their playmakers then. Whereas the Colts, I do wonder, is Daniel Jones going to beat you in a playoff game? And if Sauce Gardner's not there, are they going to? If they're, I'm not telling you they suck, but I think I'd rather see them than Houston in the playoffs.
I'll tell you straight up right now, I would take the Colts. I would even take the Chiefs. I'd take the Jags. I'd take just about anybody. I do not want to see the Patriots playing the Texans in round 1 because of Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter pass rush with
That's
Pollock
tough.
and Al Shahir and Stingley. That defense is ferocious. They have allowed 20 or fewer points 9 times, Mrs. Bueller. 9 times. That leads the NFL by far. That and defense travels, and we'll get into this briefly before we wrap up here. We don't know the health of old man Moses on the right side, and if Will Campbell and his MCL are going to come back well enough to be able to handle things. Like that's gonna be really, really tough. That'll be tough. We had some people in the comment section asking, how do you think the Patriots over the haul, let alone on Monday night, are going to handle, John, the idea that you have to put Vidarian Sweet and Low back over at left tackle and Ben Brown at left guard?
Yeah, I think, and if you listen to me on EEI this weekend, I apologize in advance because I sound like a broken record. I think, Fitzy, go back to week 1 of 2019 against the Steelers. They spread everything out, got the ball out of Brady's hands in 2 seconds or less all the time, everything underneath. I think that's what they're going to do against the Giants. And they ran a ton of play action. I went back last week and rewatched that game. They did a ton of play action.
Didn't they
in
win
that game.
33-0? Pardon my interruption. Wasn't it like an absolute trampling?
33-3. Yeah, Josh Gordon was a
33-3.
beast. Like Josh Gordon was unstoppable in that game. But they did a ton of play action, but also a lot of 4 or 5 wide. Brady catches a snap, boom, balls out. And I think you're going to see that. And again, we're used to this year, May holding the ball, throwing it 40 or 50 yards downfield. And I'm not saying they won't do that at all against the Giants, but I would expect it's going to be a ton of quick passes in this game. Maybe finally some screen passes. And I would make the same case when they play the Bills in a couple weeks after. And we'll see. Maybe Jared Wilson will be back then. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting. This is another instance, Fitzy. The depth is going to be tested because if Adarian Lowe, first of all, that's a downgrade from Will Campbell, as we know. But if he
not a lot though, not if you look at the PFF, as they like to say, PFF analytics, like it's not. Will Campbell's been. I think we all are in love with Will Campbell, the sort of veneer, the character, the personality, the sound bites, like the image. It's not a massive upgrade. Jared Wilson's been good, better as the season has gone on. I don't see it as such a downgrade that it's an issue. I think, honestly, the biggest thing is Drake May just needs to, like, this is a big night. You're on Monday Night Football. The stadium's going to be packed, cold weather withstanding. It's going to be nuts there. And that crowd is so ready for duck boats to get fired up. They're so ready for hat and t-shirt day. They're so pumped about the holidays. Everyone's going to be nogged up full of, sweet cream, booze, steak tips, and Bud Light. It'll be a frenzy, but he's got to just stay calm because that first quarter against Cincinnati, mildly alarming with the airmail balls, the pick six.
Don't forget the first drive against Tampa Bay as well. That was a big game, and he didn't look good early in that game either. And I know we blamed it on the rain at the time, but look, I think Campbell to Lowe is a downgrade, and I wonder if Lowe over the course of a full game will get a little more exposed than, just coming in spot roles last. And look, last year, I know he was hurt part of the way through the year. I get it, but it's a downgrade. What I would also mention, and I think is worth mentioning, if Lowe or or Morgan Moses, have to miss any of this game, like if they go down or whatever, it's going to be late round rookie Marcus Bryant's the next guy up. So it's just, we talk about the depth. You and I talked about this in July, the depth on
It was
this
our
team and where
shared
they're
primary concern about this team this year.
right. And I'm not telling you Marcus Bryant can't do it. I mean, he was a first team all AAC 2 years ago in 2023, 6'7", right? But it feels like there was a year of development needed there, right? And he might not get it. I mean, he might end up having to go in and play meaningful snaps, whether it's in the Giants game, it could be the Buffalo game, it could be Sunday night in Baltimore if that gets flexed. Like, it's just, that's where the depth here is going to be tested. And also a guy that deserves mention, Doug Marrone. It's a big Doug Marrone game too.
A lot of great work put in this year by Thomas Brown, by Doug Marrone, by Todd Downing, by this incredible offensive staff that, the fact that so many of them are worthy of head coaching material, if not offensive coordinator material elsewhere, and Vrabel has that many brains to trust inside the operation is truly, truly something special. And Monday night's big. Listen, you don't have to flex on the Giants. Just win the game, go box to wire, be in control, don't make mistakes. Don't win because the Giants gave you the game like they used to. And again, Giants, just a general reminder to everybody, Jackson Dart is back. Tyrone Tracy, not to be overlooked. Wan'Dale Robinson playing for a big contract. Like, their offense is frisky. Their head coach right now, their interim head coach, Mike Kafka, former offensive coordinator of the team as well. He's calling plays. He's bold. He's daring. You saw what they did against the Lions in a game they probably should have won a week ago now. They fired Shane Bowen, Vrabel's buddy, the defensive coordinator. And you heard a lot of this, obviously, in our preview episode with Sean Morash from WFAN. Great episode. But by and large, this is a house money team, the Giants. They're playing fearlessly. They have nothing to lose, but they have a bunch of guys that want to get jobs somewhere else next year. So what better way to get a calling card, Johnny, than showing up and showing out against the Patriots?
Yeah, and I would add the one big area of concern for the Patriots, the health on the offensive line. What's the only thing the Giants defense does well? Rush the passer. They won't stop the run. So maybe the Patriots can finally get the run game consistently going. I mean, the Giants are allowing 5.9 yards per carry, which is just insane to me. But I mean, look, Kayvon Thibodeau, I don't think he's going to play in this game, as a practice all week, but Abdul Carter, look, 30. I know it's only one sack or whatever. 35 pressures. He can still get after it. Brian Burns, second in the NFL in sacks. Dexter Lawrence, I think, does a really good job pushing the pocket. Doesn't get the numbers for that, much like, in our days. Vince Wilfork never put up huge numbers, but did a great job pushing the pocket. That's an area where I don't think the Giants, again, the Patriots are going to win this game, but the Giants are going to make it more difficult, I think, than their 2-10 record would suggest, especially early on in the game. I could see the Patriots pulling away late third, early fourth quarter, but don't be surprised if this is a 10-3 game midway through the second quarter, or a 14-7 game at halftime, or 14-10, something like that.
And of course, you have to allow for the obligatory score for the Giants on their first drive, whether it's 3 or 7, we'll see. You do that, you adjust, and obviously get things going accordingly. I think the Patriots do win. And in the end, the idea that the bye week comes late in early December, the table is set for them. Like, things have lined up for the Patriots to win. We set the floor at 8.5 wins back in July and August, and now we've reset it at 12.5. Johnny, a 14-3 season gets you a number 1 seed and would just be mind-blowing. And taking care of business against the Giants is the next logical step. The last thing they can do before the bye that would help that make sense.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the timing of this bye, it's obviously later than I would like. But given their health situation, take advantage, get this win, take advantage of the bye, then get yourself another bye to start the playoffs, which obviously, A, you don't have to play another playoff game. But B, as we said before, you don't have a lot of depth. You need everybody as healthy as possible. It's always important to have the bye. But I think for the Patriots, especially this year, it's a little extra important to get the bye and have those guys fully healthy. And I think, again, step 1, win on Monday night against the Giants.
And don't let the Giants be the more physical team. Don't let them be flying around the yard and try to take the fight to you. Play like there's purpose. Play like there's meaning. Play like you get a week off, and you want to be the one who shows them up. You go into the bye 11-2, which would just be freaking spectacular. And then, 15-2, 14-3, at worst 13-4, all on the table. Even if the Jets are a little friskier, even if the Dolphins have something to play for, it's going to make the stretch run a whole lot of fun. I'm fired up about the game tomorrow night. I already put my prediction out there, Johnny. Let's wrap it with what do you have for a score Monday night?
So I think the Patriots win, and I think it's 28-14.
That'll print. That'll do. That'll walk the dog. That'll get breakfast made. I like that. 28-14.
Just get through the game healthy, get the win, go to the bye. Like that's really right now. That's what I'm hoping for.
It's again a super fun way. Here's the problem: the Patriots are going to go on a bye. Then there's only going to be one game next Thursday. There'll be no Black Friday 3:00 game. And after they gave us the drug all through the weekend to help us get over the tryptophan, the overeating, and the in-laws, John, I'm going to miss all that football that we just got because it was really entertaining.
But you're going to have a Georgia versus Alabama SEC championship game, right? So that'll be good on Saturday. I'll take that. Big Ten championship game, Ohio State, Indiana. So you got something there.
Well, that is good. That's nice. That's nice. You're right.
The high school Super Bowls on WEEI 8:50 a.m. Friday and Saturday. So,
are you the in the booth analyst? You should be.
No, they turned me down.
Their loss would have been our game. Go ahead, everyone. Don't forget to follow him at The Real John Lyons, JONLYONS. I am the original misfit toy. Great to have you, everybody. Your old pal at Fitzy GFY. Happy holidays. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'll be back with Andy Hart around 11:30 on Monday night on the Six Rings postgame show. Of course, John will probably pop on Six Rings later in the week as we'll revisit the Patriots on the bye and what our expectations are for the holiday stretch run and the end of the season. Have a great Monday Night Football, everybody. Be well. Make sure you do all your shopping. Support all that. I don't know. Just whatever. It's Cyber Monday. Have fun. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Have a great game. And as always, go Pats.